Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and we are here with the requested how to play the Bismarck. Now I know there's gonna be a lot of comments under this YouTube video, and there's a lot of people gonna say, Trendless, why don't you play your Bismarck full secondaries? I'll let you know why. If you want a secondary focused German ship, you go to the Schlieffen line and you can play a Zieten. With Bismarck, I don't think it's worth going secondaries unless you play it in ranked, where you have way less people focusing you down. Then you can think about it. But in randoms, you just, especially if you're in a tier 10 game, we're in a tier 8 game with a CV now, but if you are in a tier 10 game, you will mostly use your main guns. If you try to use your secondary guns, you just suicide way too fast. And even if you don't use them and you stay in the back, your main gun consistency is so bad without this minus 7% dispersion buff. So I personally would recommend running the Bismarck with a tank build. You get much more consistent guns and you're also far more survivable due to having extra heals and so on, fire prevention and more. Look, we already got 4 hits on nearly max range. We didn't do too much damage because he was rather angled. And apparently we hit maybe the front or back of the ship. But that's 4 hits on nearly max range. And the guns are actually not that inconsistent as people make it. Like again, if you have the 7% dispersion buff on it, the guns are far more accurate than you would think. Like, this is not as bad as people make it. And you can use it very well because Bismarck has a pretty good reload with 26 seconds. Good. Now, we're looking at the map here. For now, we're gonna go closer to decap. Also, even without secondaries built into it, you can still brawl with the ship. Just letting you know. You have the hydro, and the secondaries will still blast at close range quite consistently. Like, that's the thing. People expect the ship is gonna miss only the secondaries then. But as soon as you're at 5-ish km, you will get most of the secondary hits anyway. Because they can barely miss anymore. Good, looking at this now, we're gonna go towards decap. Now, what's the strength about Bismarck? Again, it's fairly tanky as long as people don't spam fully on your superstructure. You cannot really get citadeled unless longer ranges or some certain angles on the turtleback. So it's still a might. It's still a ship that is capable of dishing out quite some damage and taking some punches. Especially when you're in a tier 8 game. It can still pay its price. Can we see him? No, we can't. Okay. We're spotted. We have a DD in front of us. I'm gonna use my hydro now. It can't be the Yudachi. It's either Vakulin or Lightning. And I'm gonna be ready to turn away here. I have a Miyoko here. Those were some good torps. He used them exactly when I was turning, but we're only gonna eat one max. That's fine. Also, we now know it's the Lightning. We gotta watch out about the Italian cruiser here as well. I'm still gonna shoot the Miyoko though, because full broadside. And then we're gonna turn away here. The Miyoko should be dead. Miyoko is dead. Now I would love to shoot, push the Lightning here, but we would end up in a crossfire with the Veneto and Richelieu, and we play it pretty safe for now. And we even got him in hydro range now, perfect, so we're just gonna shoot him now. Good hits, nice. Ferroculio, not Coolio, my god, is launching some torps again. We're gonna wait for some support from the team. But for now we're turning away. This was still worth it. We got a cruiser. We are still having quite some HP left. And we might even be able to... Nah? Can we get a nice shot on the Ferroculio? Should be able to overmatch him, right? I don't know about the armor layout right now, but I think it's a pretty lightly armored ship. Oh, yeah, there we go. And again, here you can see the guns are pretty... I mean, they're not incredibly consistent, but they're super workable once you go for the main gun buff. And you will be actually able to smash cruiser players quite well. Now we can turn in again and can actually capture the objective.
Unser Sieg ist in Sicht.
The lightning entered into the Mars. Very, very good. And now we can go into decap. There's no crossfire here anymore. Because we will have the time to angle fully towards Veneto and Schorsch. And then Richelieu has no broadside of me either. 2 Meter Jena, yeah. Okay, anyway. We're pushing in now. We're gonna shoot the Schorsch. Which is also a very squishy armored cruiser and perfect for our Bismarck. As long as he's not spotted though, we go for the Veneto. Now I'm gonna turn like this. I'm already getting my guns on this side ready. And we gotta watch out. Bismarck and Richelieu are coming closer but steadily towards our side. Man, we're completely destroying the enemy team here right now. We're gonna put one more Bismarck game afterwards as well, because this one is way too fast. And I hope I also get a tier 10 game, so people are not molding in the YouTube comments again. Yeah, but this is a tier 8 game. That can happen. We could have also gotten a tier 6 game, to be fair. But yeah, if the next one is gonna be a tier 8 game again, then we have to live with it. Is that a kill? No, we couldn't give enough lead, to be fair. Let's go. I mean, to be fair, we still have a tier 8 CV in game, so it's nowhere near the optimal matchmaking. And in fact, I would rather have a tier 10 game without the CV than a tier 8 game with a CV. But that's me with my pure hatred towards that class. Not to mention that Yorktown can do quite some damage to me. Speaking about the Yorktown, we have the range on him, so why not use it? Our reload is also pretty good with AR now, 24 seconds, and we're just gonna shoot the Yorktown. We're staying angled against the battleships, and we're just gonna go for the CV now, because we can do actually damage on tier 8 CVs. No reason to overcommit here right now until the CV is dead. He's trying to smoke himself up and he effed up. Oh my god, he tried to smoke himself up, but he actually effed up. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, Yorktown is gone, nice. Now let's go for the Richelieu. As you can see, by the way, even not building into secondaries, we got 18 secondary hits. And we got 3 fires, which is a ridiculous fire chance, actually. I just noticed our fire chance was insane. I didn't shoot once HE in this game. And we got 3 fires with 18 secondary hits. It's kind of crazy. Anyway. We're gonna now brawl the Richelieu here. At the same time we shoot the Veneto because he's full broadside to us. And then we had the first good game with the Bismarck. We can also citadel the Veneto with the 80s, I'm pretty sure. If we land perfectly waterline. But yeah, good first game with the Bismarck. We put in our weight. We attacked decap, we got quite some damage on the people there. Played it safe, we didn't int then. And yeah, pretty good. Third in the team, not too bad. We got 1 assisted capture, 1 kill. Quite some damage on the Miyoko. We completely smashed that Japanese cruiser. Beim Italiener haben wir auch reingekracht. And that's pretty good. Also some damage on the Lightning. But again, this was too short and too one-sided, so we instantly gonna go for another one for you guys. We're gonna go for 2. But this is a perfect example. In this game, you could see how much more consistent the guns are when you spec into them. I know a lot of people always think the 7% dispersion buff on the 3rd slot doesn't make a big difference. But once you see it actually, what the difference is with going in it and without it, you just realize how much big of a difference is. There is a reason why people were molding about Deadeye, because that 10% flat straight up dispersion buff you had back in the game was making every BB so much more consistent. Same reason here why the 7% is such a good investment. And perfect! We have one of the worst matchmakings we could have asked for. We have 10 CV, 4 destroyers, and a submarine. Oh, this is perfect. This is like completely like... Now... Crazy. This is the worst it can get pretty much. Because it doesn't matter if you have 2 submarines here or 1 when you have 4 10 DDs, 4 DDs here. Barely any cruisers. This is the perfect matchmaking now to show what we can still do with the ship. Now I'm letting you right now know instantly we gotta play it safe here. First of all, it's standard battle. What does standard battle mean? We can play it more safer at the beginning anyway, because there is no real threat of losing caps early and losing points advantage due to this. So when the standard battle like this, you can play it far more safe anyway without risking to lose the game because you have no cap control. There is only 2 caps, the home cap and the enemy cap. So that's one good thing going for us right now. Now, we have Jäger and the submarine here. I don't want to play it particularly aggressive on this flank, because we are only 3 people here. And I see already the CV player licking for me. That guy is already licking his bombers for me. So, we gotta be very careful here. I've been watching you out, love watching these how to play videos. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Glad you like them. Yeah, we're gonna play it very defensive here. The CV player is already going for me. And I have no interest in getting completely focused down. We're gonna DCP this fire. Usually you would not really oh my god, did 6k on the Elbing. Anyway, German accuracy by the way. Usually I would not DCP the fire this instantly. But there's no real threat of getting another fire on us right now. And then you can actually DCP one fire. The CV player, I thought he recalled the planes actually, but he just lost them, which is even better. But again, in these scenarios you can also DCP a fire. If there's no risk of getting another fire on you, you can DCP one fire. If you're in the middle of a brawl or something and you get one fire, and you should never DCP instantly unless you're very low HP. Again, showing my build for those of you who missed it in the first game. Full tank build, got additional heal, fire prevention. Definitely recommended. We're gonna shoot the Elving again. And you can see here, look how much more consistent the guns are. We got 5 hits on an Elbing at 19 km range earlier. And if I gave a bit more lead, we would have also gotten a hit here. It just shows you how much more consistent the guns are. And I don't mind actually sniping this Elbing from this range here, because we have nothing really better to shoot at the moment anyway. They're playing it very passive as well. That's one downside of standard battle. People tend to play it even more passive than in cap games. I still do like... I still don't mind standard battle that much, but it does bring up more passive plays. So it's harder to utilize, especially a ship like this, where you would like to go closer in. Oh, he's gonna slow down here. He's gonna slow down, we're gonna shoot him again. I'm trying to support my Lucian as good as I can. We can also go now, when you look at the minimap, go a bit closer because you have way more team support. And another 3 hits on the DD. Man, this Bismarck really develops into a Slava right now. We're getting insane amount of hits on DDs on max range, nearly. That's crazy. But yeah, we can go a bit closer, we have more team support. At the beginning it would have been just suicidal to go much forward because the CV and the enemy battleships would have focused me down instantly. Good.
Achtung, melde Zielposition.
One nice thing about Bismarck as well is you have the German 380s and they have very fast shell speed, so they're rather easy to aim at longer ranges as well. Which is very nice. They have a very flat trajectory, so it's not really a hard ship to aim at longer ranges as well. I'm gonna go for that Yumihari. Good. I'm gonna activate Hydro, just for safety reasons. We don't know what the submarine is at the moment, so we're gonna play it safe here. Now we're gonna try focus down the Izumo, because he's the low HP target of the enemy team. And I hope my teammates notice it and also go for him. In case he fully angles away, we can also switch to HG. One more thing that's worth mentioning, by the way. Do we have the range? No. One more thing that's worth mentioning is Bismarck actually has fairly good concealment. We have 12.9 if you build into concealment, which is a really good value, honestly. I'm gonna try to move here away because Kohan is gonna start dropping airstrikes on me otherwise. I'm gonna go for 1 HG round on the Elbing. Good hits. We got 2 hits on the Elbing, very nice. Gonna switch back to AP. And we're gonna see now if we can deal with the Kohan. Again, guys, this might not look like a lot of damage in the first 6 minutes, but most of it is on the DD, so I'm perfectly fine with it. Plus, we're in the tier 10 game, I just want to repeat that. The longer we live, the more impact we'll have over the game course. And there's our full broadside GK. You can also hit. Or not full broadside, but a broadsiding GK. So this will rather quickly double our damage. There we go. That should be a pretty decent volley. Yep. 7k. Not too bad. Can also support my team with the AA very well. We're shooting down a lot of Kohan planes. And we're just gonna focus down the GK now. Because this guy is just showing full broadside all day long. Looks like a really good volley. Yep, 20k, nice. The bro doesn't know anything about angling. Classic GK moment. And we're getting some really nice damage numbers. Good. We're switching on to the Elbing though now. Because this guy doesn't want to go Dark either. Although... No, I'm gonna shoot the GK first because he's super low. We have the chance to finish a battleship here, so we use that. Looking good. Looking very good. Nice. Team should have him now. 8k is left. Gotta pay attention here real quick if there's a DD here, but no, not yet. Some is too far away to torpedo us. And now we can switch on to the Elbing. That should be a rather good volley on the Elbing as well. Looks good, looks good. And another 4 hits. So you see how much more consistent this ship is. And then they say, yeah, but Bismarck accuracy sucks. If you build into it, it's not that bad, guys. Just to clarify that. Should have given enough lead for this moment here, I think. Come on. And another 3 hits. Very good. Now what we're gonna do here, we're gonna turn into this again. And we just gotta defend the middle. The middle is where all the enemy team is right now. And we just defend it like the big black, my god. Big, massive steel ship. I kind of effed it up. People are instantly gonna think something naughty. But yeah, we're gonna defend this area like a big massive steel block. Block I wanted to say, by the way, guys. Sure. People are like, oh, you know, you just wanted to say cock, say it. But anyway, we're defending the spot now. With our Bismarck and the Hydro, we prevent them completely from going into the middle. And we're just gonna soak up the damage. Now the Richelieu is super close, so our secondaries will also start working on him. And that's what I mean. Like, even if we don't have the accuracy or the secondary build now, they will support me more than good enough in this engagement here. Kill his turrets. We're not gonna kill the turrets here. We don't have the perfect accuracy to really go for the turrets. I'm just gonna burn him down now. That should be one fire at least. No? Oh, how rude. This game didn't want to give me fire. We're gonna use this island here, go a bit forwards, and then we smash them with the front guns as well. That Jean-Bart overextended, by the way, and he has no real way to disengage anymore. Bit unfortunate with the fire chance right now, but RNG based be RNG based. He's probably gonna DCP it insta once he gets one now. If we ever get one. Wargaming, hello. I request the fire. Not on me. Hello, not on me, on the enemy.
Problem gelöst.
Okay, that guy's immune to fires. That's kind of crazy, man. That Jean-Bart was just literally immune to fires. That's crazy, man. Bro just didn't want to get a fire at all on him. But yeah, and this is how you can play pretty safely. We still tanked a bit for our team. We still did fairly decent. And considering this was a tier 10 game now, with his CV, we had a pretty good game. It's not about getting now a 300k game with Bismarck in tier 10 game. That's rarely gonna happen, in all honesty, guys. Unless you're getting like the biggest paid actors ever and the enemy team is just completely effing it up. But it's about staying in the game and being the support for your team. Especially if you're in a low tier, you are at the weaker front. But don't throw your ship away instantly. Like, I see a lot of people, and I'm really sad about it. They're like, I'm gonna take as an example the Takahashi now. They're a tier 8 cruiser, light cruiser, Japanese cruiser, and they end up in a tier 10 game. What are they doing? They just W and go for the next one. And that's very, very sad. Put your weight in. Even as a tier 8, you can do something. And this is a perfect demonstration now that you are still capable of doing something. We are still having a pretty decent amount of HP. And we did quite some damage on the enemy team. So there's no real reason to throw away your ship. Sure, you could have done way better in the top tier game or in the tier 10 in this game. But it's all about bringing your weight in for the team. And even if they somehow remotely have a comeback right now, we are still here with 53k HP and 4 heals. If I would have tried to use my secondaries at any point here in these engagements, I would have died rather quickly. And with the main gun build, we just ran so much better. We might even get the Elbing, who knows? Maybe we even get a kill. Okay, he's gone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a GG with the Bismarck on a probably the worst matchmaking you can ask for. GG. So, in all honesty, not a bad result. I'm very happy with it. We could support our team. We are still here if there would have gone something wrong. And we defended the middle from the enemy incursion. GG. Let's just end this by shooting the Thunder a bit. He's rather angled, so I don't expect any citadels at this point. Maybe a pen if we're lucky on the upper belt, but the game is over. GG. That's Bismarck for you. 2 games in a row. 1 game where we just completely smashed the cruisers at the beginning when we are on the same tier. And here in an up tier how we still put in our weight. Overall, pretty solid experience, I would say. We're ending second on the team. Well done to the Colombo. And yes, good example. If you have a Colombo here, of course you're gonna do way more than a Bismarck. But just because you're low tier, don't throw your ship away at the beginning. You still have some capable traits. And unlike a lot of other free-to-play games, I think being a low tier is not the biggest. Like, for example, when I played back in the day World of Tanks, I thought it was way harder utilizing a low tier tank in an up tier than here, for example. I think in World of Warships, in comparison, you can still do quite a bit. Especially in the DD. I think low tier DDs are having by far the best time in comparison to low tier battleships and cruisers and so on. But even there, you can still put in your weight. Well done. We are second in the team. Thank you so much for watching. And not to mention, last but not least, somebody just reminded me in chat, you're also still worth the points. Yeah, we didn't give the enemy team our points instantly while dying at the beginning of the game, which is also sometimes a very important factor. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you like this. And this is how to play Bismarck. In my opinion, don't go for the secondaries. If you go into the ranked, you can build it into secondaries, because then it actually excels, because you have way less people focusing you down. But other than that, I would go for a tank build and buffing the main gun dispersion, so they're rather consistent. Thank you for watching, you're Trendless, and out.